Yo.
Hello, family.
Hola.
How's it going?
Good. I'm in the middle of doing some dishes right now, so I'll mute myself, but just wanted to say hey.
Okay. Whatever you got to do.
Hey, since you got a sec, man, how you been, Michael? I meant to reach out to you. I just been kind of busy and stuff, just like tunnel vision. But
Good. I was riding a fucking one-wheel bike thing and had a fucking accident. Broke my hand in here, and then a rib too. So been kind of down for a little bit, but getting back, starting to get some more
Sure, man. We'll feel that. It's tough. Amber.
Amber, can you hear us or no? Oh, I think she's having a Wi-Fi issue. I don't know if she can hear us. It's frozen on my screen. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, fucking came really tight. Connecting.
Night. Oh my god.
Okay. All right, Amber, you in now, or can you hear us now? Let's see. Amber, you there? No? Yes? No? Can't hear you. I see you're talking on the, it's prompting me that you're talking, but I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear?
No.
Yeah. You're not on mute on our end, so.
Hmm.
Let's see. Oops.
And my hair is almost as long as yours, Michael.
Oh, it's getting out of hand, dude.
No, once I get my first tip out, I'm getting a haircut.
Where are you going?
Makayo's. So I applied as a dishwasher, but he liked my Mexican food.
Mexican restaurant?
So
Where is
I'll
that?
be there.
Up in Goodyear?
There's one literally like 2 miles from my house in Surprise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You gonna hook us up with some tacos?
Absolutely, you guys should come in and show love and ask to sit in my section.
Can't remember. I've definitely eaten there before. I can't remember how long ago. I thought it was good, right? It's good food.
It's kind of Caucasian Mexican food, to be
like
honest.
Spain, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. There's too much good Mexican food in Arizona for that to be good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Speaking of that, my mom just hooked up with tacos today, so that's why I'm doing the dishes.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that was a blessing, yeah.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Is this Amber? Oh yeah. Here, hold on. Let's see.
Might YouTube some videos on how to serve again. I kind of forgot. I'm a little rusty.
There you go.
All the skill stuff's easy, man. Just be good to people, you be good.
Right, for sure, man. Very attentive and anticipate needs and
treat them good, make them smile, baby.
Yeah, every restaurant's different too.
I've been to a lot of places that had really, really, really good food that had shitty people working there, and I'll never go again. So I'm an experiential person, man. If the experience is good and the people are good, I don't even care if the food's as good if it's a good time, you know?
Right, for sure.
All right, I see Amber on here. I don't know what's going on though. I don't know if she can hear or what, but can you hear us? Oh. Dang, that hurt. All right, well, we'll get started. She can watch it, or I think she can hear us, but she just can't talk or see us. I'm not sure what's going on, but anywho, so obviously we're starting Zoe will not start back up until September 5th, I believe, is the first day for season 3. They took a little bit longer break this time. So September 5th will be our first week back for the Zoe Connect. But as you guys know, we do these anyway every week. So interesting or not interesting? Not really. It just always happens like this, doesn't it? But I've been taking some like time away. Obviously getting hurt didn't help, but like spending some time in my own space. And I was writing some of the stuff for today, and I saw everybody's message coming through asking if we are going to do it. And then Amber called me and asked the same thing. She said, "Gonna do tonight?" And I was like, yeah, I'm just working on some stuff. And I finished it up and put the thing on Instagram and did the invitation, and did some laundry, showered up, and then I decided I didn't see the thing on Sunday. I decided to go check out what Chad did on Sunday. And, I know the topic was dangerous time or dangerous habits for this week, but the main title was quiet time, which was just fucking hilarious to me. Obviously, I mean, that's just how it works, right? Yeah. So it's just funny how even when you don't see things, it's still happening. And it seems like coincidence, but it's not. We know it never is. And that's just God working in your life. So, yeah. So the timing for me is just, I had a short discussion with my sister today about it a little bit, because I think she's probably felt my distance, and probably the most. She knows me the most. But for me, I'm practicing being quiet and being able to be in my own space in quiet, and actually being able to deal with it positively. As I've told you guys before, I've been a mover. For me, movement's always been connected to avoidance, in the way of like, if I want to get over something or past something or away from my past, I keep moving. And that's always been kind of my mentality: keep moving around, keep going, keep pushing, keep driving. But it doesn't leave a lot of room for quiet time. It actually built a system for me to stay away from quiet time, to have almost zero quiet time, to the point where the only time I felt alone was probably minutes before I went to bed, if I was alone. So I never even made time to have that quiet time, or my time to myself, to like set everything else down, check in with myself, see what's going on, see if the effort I'm putting in to the things around me or the world or the people actually matters, or if it's healthy the way I'm doing it, or if it's coming back in return. Never have done that in my life. Just never even made time for it. So I think probably just this whole experience, and being more involved in the church and helping them every Sunday and doing more of this. I'm doing a lot more over there. And I think the whole process has shown me that as much as I love to do all this stuff, it still really parallels what I used to do. It's building things in my life that I have to do so I can avoid quiet time. Even though I think, for our group, in my personal opinion, I'm sure you guys feel similar in some way, but for our group alone, I think the growth has been phenomenal for all of us. I mean, I know for me, it's been a life-changing thing to have this group, and for us, the things we talk about and share, and the support we have for each other and all that stuff. So, in that sense, it's been like nothing I've ever done. But if I'm just comparing, this and that, it really is the same as far as what I do as a pattern. I try to get as many things going on, and, we're doing this, love it. Well, then I leaned in a little more at church, and I leaned in more with Natalia and asked them what they needed, and started giving me more things. That's what I do. Well, this time I checked in and I checked in to see if, am I just doing because I can? Or am I truly getting back what I feel like I'm putting in? And that's not to have anything to do with expectation of giving and receiving, because I think that's the wrong way of looking at things. I don't think you should ever give with the expectation to receive equal, because you'll get let down a lot, which is okay. But if you're a true giver and you really want to give to people and put into them, you have to be very enlightened in the fact that you will not get back what you put out. But that's the reason why you're here as a human. Not everybody can be the same. We can't all be givers. We can't all be leaders. We can't all be the light, I think that's why we are so different, and God makes us different, because we need different humans for different roles. So I don't say it in the terms of like what I'm putting in, I wasn't getting back equally. It was more the terms of what am I doing that I can control that allows me to still have time for myself, to not get too emotionally attached to an outcome, to not get too wrapped up or involved in what I think people's expectations of me are, because that's another one I've struggled with. Like, because I have the ability to do something doesn't mean that I should be doing it all the time for everybody. So I've been kind of going back and forth this week. That's why, last week I didn't do Connect, obviously. The first time that I just wasn't mentally there for it. I just wasn't, it came and went by in a hurry, and it had to do with, obviously, Sunday night I had the accident. So, Monday was a day of not leaving the couch. I couldn't move my ribs. I couldn't breathe, hard to talk. So part of it was that, but it also gave me a moment to stop and think about all this, that was like forced into a situation, Luckily I didn't break anything permanently, but God has a sense of humor, because he gave me the same exact injury on my hand he gave me on my rib. It's one that you can't put in a cast. You can't do anything about. You have to wait it out until it heals. And he did it on two parts of my body crossing. So my right hand and my left rib. So it means I can't do anything in my right hand. And when I use my left hand, I feel it in my rib cage. So it was, I say he has a sense of humor, because he gave me, it could have been a very serious injury. I didn't have a helmet on me. It could have been way worse, but he gave me an injury to slow me down and put me down and give me no choice. And that's how I've been taking it. So when I say, be quiet, be dangerous, for me, my mentality's always been, I've never really shared a lot with anybody around me, especially even close partners I've ever had in business or employees. Like, I never share the burden of what it takes to do what I do. I never share the burden, anything in my life. I don't like to share. And it's not because I didn't like to talk about it. It was more like I felt like I didn't want to burden somebody else and have that on their shoulders, that I needed to take the load on my shoulders alone. And I want to save other people from it. Fast forward to now, that's complete bullshit. I mean, we can't win by ourselves. Nobody I've ever met, anybody I've looked up to or met in my life, I've never met anybody that got anywhere good that I respected and did it on their own. I never met one person. Yeah, I was trying to do everything by myself. Didn't trust anybody, didn't want to put anybody in positions that, could take a bunch off of me. Just didn't do it, even though I witnessed it and respected it. And so, knowing now that we can't really do anything on our own, but in that same sense, what I've been going through is you can't really do anything for anybody if you're not selfish in your own stuff too. So it's one of those balancing acts. Like, I had to get super selfish with the possibility of offending people around me. Like my sister's one. I mean, she's very close to me. She knows when I'm distant. and we work in very different ways. So how she feels about and how I'm attending it come off, whereas we've always had that relationship, and she feels very hard. I'm doing what I think is right for me, but we're losing the connection in the middle, right? So get quiet, get dangerous is how good, how amazing you can be in your own life, how self-aware, how mentally strong you can be, physically strong, um, built with empathy, love, kindness, unconditional love for everybody, mostly including yourself and everything around you. If you get quiet sometimes and you really put it into yourself, if you can really build how great you can be, there's no limit of what you can actually do. Um, and I think how far you can spread it. Like, we live in a world today of how many people are viewing us, and that is like our change in the world. Well, I had 100 people that viewed this. Well, that's not the point, right? We're not even talking about those views. You're talking about the exponential stuff that we can't even track. We can't put counters and likes on it. It's the exponential movement through people. It's if 100 people saw it and those 100 people told 100 people that I never would have known or can't see or nothing, or that experience, they got pushed on to somebody else, or Matt's serving a table next week and he put some kindness on other people. Like, that stuff you cannot track by any ticker, any amount of likes, follows, anything. Um, that's the stuff you have to have faith in. That's the God stuff. You have to trust that it's happening, because it is. I mean, that's how we spread kindness or messages, how we spread messages. Remember before a phone? I mean, we don't remember before a phone, but parents and grandparents, before there was even a phone, how the hell did messages get around? Like, you just had to wait for it to get to you. Like, it showed up when it showed up. The message got to you when it was talked through many of people, but a bad message sometimes doesn't go anywhere, or sometimes a bad message goes too far. So why I say those two things is, you can play a telephone game, it can go a long way, but sometimes the message isn't good. And usually that means where it originated from, the origin wasn't doing good. So that's why I say by be quiet, be dangerous. Like, got to get time with yourself to understand what you're capable of doing, how good you are in that space, how good you are with yourself before you can share or try to push a story or narrative or a model or anything with anybody else. And for me right now, if I'm not in a good space to do so, I'd rather not than give 40% of me, because then I know personally, I'm very good at just making something work. I can fake through something very easily, but I think through this group and through us always all talking is really the take back for me is, or the takeout is, if you're going to do something that you really care about, like for instance, this group for me, I'm not going to do it at 40. I'm not going to do it at 60. I'm not going to do it at 70. If I'm not 100% in it, it's a disservice to you guys. It's a disservice to me, even more so, being selfish, because I'm not growing. I'm not helping anything. So, even though the message kind of sounds, down, it's not. It's probably the most enlightened, weak message I've had for myself, and I think is probably the most important for all of us. It's not any different than when we talk about self-care, all that stuff, and self-awareness and knowing ourselves. And it's just, I think, more of the application of it instead of just the talking about it, right? I think anything in life is really, the hardest part is applying it. Is I want this, I want that, or someday I want this kind of job, or married, or this car, or I deserve these things. But the difference between people that get stuff and don't is really just the application of the dream or the idea. What have you done to get it? And that's not like, oh, well, I went and applied and they didn't hire me, or this guy's an asshole and he fired me, or didn't work out, a business partner screwed me. Those aren't the reasons. Those are excuses. The reasons because you didn't actually do everything it takes to be in the position you want to be in. And that's, I think, probably 99.9% of the cases are like that if you look deep into yourself. I think failure comes from a lot of times of us not really giving ourselves credit and pushing all the way. Like, could we have done different things? Could we have done better things? Could we have put more into it? I bet you the answer is probably, if you dug deep, yes, every single time. And then whoever was involved too, same answer. Right? If there was a relationship or a partner or boss, or same answer. So I think as humans, I think we just got to put more time in the application of the talk. And that for me stems with like self-care, like taking time, being quiet, not having to talk all the time, not having to share all the time, not having to let everybody know what I'm doing all the time. And sometimes there's freedom in that. And I've just never done it. I'm trying to figure it out now. I'm trying to enjoy it now. I'm trying to let it be. So that's kind of my message. Well, it's just funny that Chad, the title of that one was Quiet Time, which is, I guess a story of our connect groups, right? It's like you hear things when God wants to tell them to you. And a lot of times he's telling us all maybe the same title, but we're hearing all different ways and different messages coming through. So, for me right now is my quiet time is really just my growth time, my building time. It's me setting up for the next season of my life and taking it to another level I've never even had the time to see or enjoy. And the best part about it is I have no idea what it looks like. So I'm not even close to the vision of what it is. I'm doing the groundwork I've never done in the past. I've always had the vision. I've always seen things clearly, what I want. I'm going to get after it. I'm going to do it, whatever it takes. And I go, but those things have always been like, I look at something. It's like, well, here it is. I'm going to own this company. That's what I want to do. And then I'll go do it. I'll do whatever it takes to get there, or damn close. But I never did the first baby steps. The rolling. You ever see a newborn baby roll on the ground like when they're little? That's we actually train that in athletes, older athletes. And it's them feeling out their muscular system to understand where they can push and pull and what they can do with their body, what they can turn on and turn off. That's actually part of us growing up and how they end up standing up and walking. We do that with adult athletes today. Because sometimes, we've had football players that are just got drafted number 1 in NFL, in there laying on the ground, going through these exercises, and they can't even do it. Because it's so basic. They're unbelievable at their craft, but the basic things about movement, they can't do because they've gone so past it, and it's all about up here. So my analogy's always been that movement, because we had so many great athletes come in and just not be able to do it. We'd laugh about it because it's very simple. You just lay on your back, you pretend like you're paralyzed from your waist down, and then you try to roll over onto your stomach. And then you do it again. You pretend like you're paralyzed from your waist up, and then you got to roll over to your stomach. So it means you got to turn off everything from upper body and try to roll over by using different muscles and not using others. Super simple idea, but it's comical to watch because it's like, it's simple movements. And I think that's the oversight for me, in a bigger way, not just movement, like in life. I'm going to start my next season of life by laying on the ground and pretending like I'm paralyzed from the waist down. And I'm going to try to win. and I'm going to try to paralyze myself from the waist up, and I'm going to try to win. I'm going to feel like my whole body's paralyzed, and I'm going to try to win. Because if I've already seen it and then I can get to there, I'm dangerous. So get quiet, get dangerous is me talking about danger in the nicest form of the word. We think about dangerous being always bad, but I'm talking about dangerous skill. How skillful can you get? How good can you be at you? You know, get dangerous at Matt, get dangerous at Portia, get dangerous at Amber, dangerous version of ourselves, meaning we can't be stopped in a good way. So, somebody just sent me this today. I don't know. Again, just the world conspiring, right? This just made sense to me. Something about an hour ago. Set some goals, stay quiet about them, smash the hell out of them, clap for your damn self. Like, right? Like, you got to be able to do that, I think, first before you try to go impress anybody else with what you're doing. Right? We look a lot of times for the support of others in what we do, not who we are. You know, like, well, what's your job? Like, that's what happens. What's your job? What do you do for a living? What do you drive? Like, a lot of surface level questions come out when you meet somebody for the first time. So it's not about any of that stuff, but it's about who you are at your core. And I think when you can learn that simple, that's a funny thing to me, but simplifying it. But if you can do that, if you can stay quiet, be crushing your goals every day, smashing those, and then most importantly, giving yourself credit for it, you know, clapping at yourself, standing up in the morning, brushing your teeth, being proud of you, then it doesn't matter what you do in life because everybody around you is going to see it. I always told Amber, and she said the same thing. Like, I've been very good to see how somebody's feeling through their eyes, like see how what's been going on through their eyes. If I'm close to you, I can see a change in people. I've had a lot of people work for me, and I've got really good at knowing when somebody's trying to fake through something, and meaning like happiness, really, like their struggle. And then also you can see the difference in their eyes when something's going good. So, yeah, clap for yourself every day. Clap for you, Matt. New job. Proud of you. Congratulations. Portia's heading out to Arizona, I think, in a week or two. So that's huge and exciting. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got for today. Anybody want to share anything? Portia?
Surface level questions come from surface level people.
Yeah.
Just so you know. No, but what I wanted to share was that I listened to Chad's message, and he talked about how he like takes his quiet time in the morning, and that's like when he gets his clarity, right? And that's when he gets his visions, and he gets the momentum and the energy to go do what he needs to do. You know, even if it's only if it's an hour, but we don't realize that putting in that quiet time, how much more energy we can get out of that from even just say if we started our day with the 15 minutes of quiet time, because we always think that we have to keep going, right? Because I was always a goer too, and didn't think that I had time to do that kind of thing to quiet my mind because I didn't feel like I needed to. But I think the people that don't are the ones who need it the most, right? So what comes to me, like when you say, he talked about like quieting the mind and how we need to make that a habit. And I think we have to think of silence as not just the absence of sound, but it allows for us to have presence of everything else, right? It helps us to find our balance, helps us to find where we need to go. So it's like when people meditate, or even whatever your practice looks like, it's finding that calming the mind or easing the emotions in your mind or the monkey mind. And I think that's why they always say like it has such a profound effect on the brain, because it changes it and it remolds it, especially with the consistency of it. And so like, I don't want to get too sciencey, but I think this really resonated with me because it inspired me to know that I need to do it more. But there's been a lot of studies done on how meditation, it affects specific parts of the brain, obviously, right? So we know that it can increase the gray matter of the brain, which is like what controls the muscle, the sensory perception and our emotions and our speech and our hearing and our seeing and all like the decision making. So that in itself will increase just by us doing, they said like 15 to 20 minutes of just silencing our minds, right? So then if we move on to the lateral prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that allows you to look at things from a more rational, logical, and balanced perspective, they call that also the assessment center. It helps to modulate the emotional response, overriding automatic behaviors and or habits, and decreasing the brain's tendency to take things personally. So listen, so then the next part of the brain is the medial prefrontal cortex. And that part of the brain is the constant referencing back to the you, and where you're always centering back to like the me center of you. And it processes the information that's relating to you, like when you're thinking of your future or reflecting on yourself, or like engaging in a social interaction, or even like the feeling of empathy for yourself or someone else. And then it also stimulates our amygdala, which we know is like the alarm system of the brain. So the fear center, or the fight or flight. And then the last part of the brain, which it stimulates, is the insula, which is a part of the bodily sensations, right? And it's involved in like our gut level experience, or like that heart gut feeling that you get. And it helps to guide you strongly in like the responses of the sensations of the body. So like if you were to judge something, if it was dangerous or not dangerous, and then that also comes back to our emotions and empathy. So the whole point, right? The importance of all of the getting the quiet on a regular basis over time is because if we take all of those different parts of the brain, so if we start with the prefrontal cortex and the fear center, it begins to break down, right? So as the connection weakens, we no longer assume that those sensations or the thoughts or the fear or the things that we're thinking, or they're a problem or they're wrong. We can help us to calm our minds. So then when we're presented with those types of situations in life, we're better able to respond to them than react to them. So the connection between like the assessment center and the prefrontal cortex will also become stronger, because when we get like an upsetting information, or we look at something in a more rational perspective now, so then rather than automatically reacting and assuming it has something to do with you, you'll know that you're able to better respond to the situation. And I think it also has been said that once we can increase our own empathy and compassion, we're able to put ourselves in different situations and better understand people who see the world differently from us. So when we perceive things differently from someone else, the end result would be that we're able to put ourselves in other people's situation, especially those that are not like us, increasing our empathy and compassion. So then we're able to not only better see ourselves with more empathy and compassion, but for the people around us. And it just gives us a clearer perspective, while also being more present every single day. Not only are we having more compassion and empathy with helping us to be better, but we can handle any situation in life better. And so I think when people practice, they really do become calmer, and they have a greater capacity for the empathy, and that they're able to respond better to not only the things in life, but people and or events that do come up. And I think the other thing they have to remember, we always talk about, is consistency, because if we only do it once a week, it's not going to have the same effect if we were to do it every single day.
Love it.
That's a lot of information, but
There's a
I
lot of
think
information.
the
That's
more,
a lot of information. Be quiet.
the
You need to quiet. You need to practice quieting your brain
right,
down right now.
right. The moral though, like if you put it into that perspective and you think, okay, well, then you think about times where you did overreact, or you did think of a situation and you responded in the wrong way, or you read it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And you think I think it just puts better into perspective that you're thinking, okay, I can definitely do 10 to 15 minutes a day for myself because I know it's good for me.
So the moral of the story is take 15 minutes for yourself.
There you go.
And
All right,
now
it's gonna cut us off here again. So September 5th, we're gonna keep doing it, but September 5th is Zoe. But until then, we're gonna keep doing it. I won't miss another one without letting you guys know. Actually, I'll just never miss another one. But I appreciate you guys sticking in there and sending support. The text group's always important. So even if I'm not responding, I read everything. I enjoy everything. I love everything. So I appreciate you guys. Matt, have a freaking killer week. Crush it.
Yeah.
Crush it.
I feel like I have a lot to share on this. If you guys have like an extra minute to listen,
I can open the thing back up.
for sure.
Yeah, let me just do it on the phone. I'll call you guys right back.